All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready, blue 80, 525. I smell fear in that offense. Wait. I smell fear in that offense. Blue 80, do it now.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Ryan. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 44-yard line.
Ready,
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check it out, 20.
Now Ito Smith. And he's got some space here. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Check 31. Check. Check 45 to money. I got you, son.
And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Buccaneers' 21-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. That's complete to Smith. No, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching him.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
51, Sam!
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready, 280. Mike 54. Rush.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry for Smith. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
59, ready. Back 25. Check. Walk 54. Pick me up. Here we go. Ready to go.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Wait, set. Ready? 57 Ozzy. Go there.
They'll run for the first time with Peyton Barber. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brady. Open man is Ross, complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Brady. He's got his man. This is Jackson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Hey, check it, reload. 53's in now. When he hit, Alpha.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brady. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Bucs have taken the lead.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes the score 14-7. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7 as they come up 1st and 10. A nice run on first down gets them 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run with Smith. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Check. Hey, Charlie. Hey, check.
Play action. It's Ryan. And this one brought in by Sanu. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
From just shy of midfield, Ryan. And that'll be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, It's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Try to do better. 39. 20, 20. Bang, 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 bang. Echo.
Now on 2nd and 13, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Hey, 59, ready. Check back 45. All right, 25.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And what with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
A 49-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
11 yards there, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Brady now on first down. It's hauled in by Doxson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw again on second down. Brady. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
29, Alpha. Yeah, let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here. Alpha. Hey, Alabama.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 12, Ryan complete to Jones. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Ryan. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Ryan. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Kendall Beckwith, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Back Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Sugar! Shadow!
Now Brady. And this is caught by Evans. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
He completes it to Evans. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 40-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. 72. 45. Like we hit. Check it.
Again, it's Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Brady's got his guys 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Smith. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle by forcing a loss. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mike's 54. Base. 54. Cut.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Taken from just outside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. John Ross, his third touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, twisting away. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 7, Ryan, he sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Ryan. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action. Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Barber on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That's trash. Joker.
Got a man open. It's Ross. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Hey, goal 66. 45 to Mike. Hey, box truck. Hey, check it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike,
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On second down, here's Smith. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. He sets up the screen to Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
On second down, Barber. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge.
First down, they go with Barber again. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down now, it's Barber.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Shotgun now for Brady. He completes it to Jones. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Watch the curve, watch the curve. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
first down. Barber. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Brady. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot.
Round 80. Round 80. Get that ball. Get that ball, bandit.
They'll run on first down. Barber. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Falcons 25-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got one. 50.
Once again, it's Barber. And an alley to run. He's got the first down inside the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Smith. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Buccaneers, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.